hurts so good. Oh, baby, make it hurt so good. Sometimes I don't feel like it should, baby. Hurts so good.
Hey guitar players, it's Nate and Chelsea here from GuitarFam.com, and we want to share something with you called the Clean Bar Chord Checklist. It's just a collection of 10 tips that we've come up with to help you get your bar chords down and play them correctly and build the technique and strength that you need for that.
Yeah, and this is actually to celebrate the launch of our brand new course. It's called the Bar Chord Masterclass, and it'll help you master those dang bar chords.
Yeah, and the first module is completely complimentary for everyone, so go to GuitarFam.com, create your complimentary account, and go through the course there, or you can go through it here on YouTube if that's where you're watching this. And then if you want to go through the rest of the course, you can go module by module for a very reasonable price, or invest in the entire course, and you'll get the ebook with that and all 12 modules.
All right, so let's get into this. Number one is to get your guitar set up. We cannot emphasize this enough. This is like life and death for being able to play your bar chords cleanly.
Literally, like so many people quit playing guitar or quit trying with bar chords because their action, if you don't know what action on the guitar, it's just how high your strings are from the fretboard, because their action is too high. And like I'll be doing a lesson with someone and they'll be like, I don't know why I'm struggling with bar chords. Let me see your action. They hold it up and their action is like a half an inch or a quarter inch high. I'm like, that's why it's not you, it's me. And that's a really big problem that you can eliminate right off the bat if you just get your guitar set up by a professional. Okay, number two for the clean bar chord checklist is make sure that you work on just creating a clean bar by itself at first and not the entire bar chord shape. A lot of guitar players jump right into, I want to learn bar chords, I'll work on the entire shape. When what you really need to do is work on building the technique and strength required to play just the bar on its own first. If you do that, it makes it a lot easier than jumping into the entire bar chord shape cold. So just work on the bar by itself and get that down first. And the rest of the tips throughout this checklist kind of pertain to that bar too.
Number three is to put the bar on using a clamp-like motion with your finger and your thumb. So you just clamp it on there. And an important thing to note is that your thumb and your index finger are lined up, so you don't have your thumb way up here down the neck. It's they're lined up.
Yeah, maximum pressure, minimum effort.
Yeah.
Number four is to place your bar or your index finger right behind the fret. The farther back you go to like the middle of the fret or the back, you see it's going to be harder to make it sound good. And the closer you get to the fret, not on it, but right behind it, the easier it's going to be and the less pressure you're going to have to use to make that bar sound clean.
Number five is to experiment with the vertical placement of your finger, because we have those creases where our finger bends, and that can get in the way sometimes and maybe mute a string or make it buzz. So like say if I had it way up here. Oh, see here, that last one?
The last one's a little weak.
Yeah. Or if I have it, too far down. See here?
G string. And that's going to be different for everyone because everybody's fingers are different lengths, sizes, the creases are in different spots. So this is something you really have to go through for yourself to find that sweet spot.
Yeah, and the nice thing about this is the more you practice, then you gain the muscle memory, and then you don't have to think about it anymore. You'll just put it where it's supposed to be, and it'll work.
But you have to go through that process of just kind of struggling to find exactly where that perfect location is for you to minimize those creases. Number six is to tilt or lean your finger back on the bony edge of your finger instead of the meaty, fleshy kind of bottom part. And watch, remember I said tip 4 was to come right behind the fret. It looks, when I do that, it looks like my finger is right on the fret, but it's not, because my finger's not flat on the meaty, kind of fleshy portion on the bottom there. What happens is I go right behind the fret and then I tilt my finger back onto the edge of the finger to get the best sound. That just makes it easier to get a clean sound out of your bar. So right behind the fret is number 4. Number 6 goes right along with it. That's to tilt your finger back onto that edge.
Number 7 is to not kink your wrist too far one way or the other. So let's do this A chord here. You can see that my wrist is bent, but it's not, you know, it's not bent too far one way or the other. If I were to go kink it this way, first of all, it hurts.
Yeah.
And it's just not clean, it's awkward. Or if I kink it back this way, it's like I can't even reach.
Yeah,
like,
it's going to be pretty impossible.
I can't even, it's just messy. So, and then I start pulling on the strings and then it's not the right, So just, you know, have it like kind of like you're holding an orange or something. Just kind of, just relax your wrist, make sure it's, you know, in a kind of a more neutral position.
Yeah, and my foot is on a footstool right now. That helps bring the guitar up, because what happens when it's not on a footstool, watch, my wrist has to kink farther down this way to make the bar chord.
Yep.
So to help with that, either use a strap or a footstool, and even get the guitar neck up a little higher like this, so you're not kinked this way or this way, but like kind of a nice neutral position. Number 8, don't raise your elbow up like this. A lot of people, especially, watch this, what happens when I look down. This is what happens a lot for people who are just starting on bar chords. They look down and their elbow goes up for some reason. I don't know why, but just be aware of that. Don't do that. Let your arm fall to your side really naturally. And even the weight of your arm hanging down will help with that clamp.
And check out Nate's bar finger, his index finger. When he raises his elbow up, then that starts to tilt, and then you're not right behind the fret anymore. So that can cause buzzing and just an unnecessary, messy.
And like when you drop that down, all you have to do is squeeze, put a little squeeze. Like when I squeeze my elbow, and it kind of naturally comes in because I'm flexing. I'm flexing. But that helps.
Flex those biceps, baby.
That's a big help, and just a good reminder to keep your elbow by your side when you do put that little extra squeeze in there and your elbow kind of wants to come in.
Tip number 9 is to practice the open chord portion of your bar chord using your 2nd, 3rd, and 4th fingers. Because normally, let's say you want to do an A, and that's based on the E shape. And if I were playing it down here, then I would probably just naturally do this. But now, if I'm going to be practicing a bar chord, I need to change it so that I'm using my 2nd, 3rd, and 4th finger. That leaves this finger, your 1st finger, open to be able to create the bar.
Right, and treat this just like you're learning a new open chord, and get it to where you can go to it just as good as you can if you're using, you know, your normal fingers to play, in this case, an open E chord. Okay, number 10, and this gets into the final stages of getting this bar chord or any bar chord down to where you can just go to it with no problem. It's kind of a cross-training tip, and I like to call it bar shape bar. And what I mean by that is get your bar on first and then put your shape on. Make sure everything's clean, and then the next time do the opposite of that. Put your shape on and then your bar. And what you're doing, because oftentimes when people are learning bar chords, what happens is they put something on and some finger lags behind, whether it's their bar or one of their fingers in the shape. And when you do this, you force yourself to kind of do a weak spot first every time you alternate. So if your middle finger's lagging behind, do that first and then put the bar. Or if your bar is lagging behind, do that first and then put the shape. And this is going to build that coordination and dexterity you need to shoot for being able to play the entire chord all at once. And that's the ultimate goal here. And doing that bar shape bar will help you get to that goal of putting that bar chord on all at once.
All right, well, let's throw in a bonus. So number 11 is to practice multiple times a day, but just for a few minutes a day. That's all you need, is just a few minutes, multiple times a day, and that's going to be what will set you up for success. Because if you try to do this for hours, your hand's going to start hurting.
And there's no way, if you're just starting out with bar chords, your hand's going to be tired after like 3 to 5 minutes. So take that as an indicator. Hey, I need to take a break, do something else, and then come back in an hour or later that evening for, like you said, multiple practice sessions in one day.
We know that bar chords can be a struggle. They're a struggle for everyone. So we're excited to share these tips. And if you really want to master bar chords, we have a Bar Chord Masterclass that you can go through. The first module is complimentary. So you can go to guitarfam.com and create a complimentary account, go through that first module. After that, if you want to continue your education of bar chords, then you can invest in either in the individual modules, or you can invest in the entire course, and that'll come with a 140-page ebook.
And if you're struggling with anything where you need a little bit of extra help and one-on-one coaching, you can go to guitarfan.com and book a private one-on-one lesson with me. The first one is complimentary, so there's no risk, and don't be shy to do that. I'll be looking forward to meeting you and getting you past this hurdle of bar chords. We'll see you on the side.